going, we're going live. Do 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 do. We are going to start to record, and now we're recording. We are live right here as soon as I check the sound. And that's me singing. All right, we are live. How you doing, everybody? We are live. Tony D, Little Joan, and Guest Dog is also in the house. And we are live. We're doing it live. Hollywoke Hot Take live. Welcome. It's 7 o'clock on a Sunday. And I'm right on time. I'm right on time, dogs. Right on time. What did you bring food in here for? What food did you even bring in here? You look at me like you're not... Yeah, eat your food in the bowl. That's what it's for. You got to retrain dogs every 10 seconds. Anyhow, welcome to the live stream where we do it live. Where's the other dog? Oh, there she is. Let me get her up on the seat. Here you go, John. The bigger dog scares Joan sometimes. She's getting used to her, but, you know, gets a little intimidated. Right, Joan? You're getting better, though. You're getting better. You walked into the room with her the other day. That was pretty good. Anyhow, we are doing it live here on Hollywoke Hot Take Live. And we're just waiting for some of the chat to arrive, as always. I'm Tony D, and I am author of the Pineys, Book 19, now available. Book 20 is done, coming out in a few weeks. And we'll let you know when that happens. The big news story here, besides my week, is there's snow. Oh, there's lots of snow. But let me tell you what happened this week. It was a big week. First I did I was supposed to go to the FOP hall to do an event, but that got postponed. But then I went to Tyndall Road Brewing and had a great time. They gave me pizza. I talked about the Jersey Devil. We did a trivia contest. And then on Thursday, I was at Cold Spring Village. Ooh, that was a great one. Cold Spring Village is one of those historic reenactment places. So they have a whole village and people doing blacksmith and candle making, that kind of stuff. None of that was going on at this time of year because it's cold, but they had the brewery opening, and the brewery is an actual brewery that brings in money for the village, which I think is a great idea. So that's open year round. And they also have a restaurant. So I did a talk. They have like a speaker series. So I was the first speaker of 2026, I'm proud to say. And they paid me to be there. I sold some books. It was a great day. And then yesterday I was at the I Heart Horror Convention. Hi, guys. They're always very gracious to me. That's up in Sayreville. And had a good time. And next up I'm doing the Di Matteo Vineyards event. 2 p.m. on Saturday, next Saturday. And I'll also be doing the AC Punk Show. But today... we're getting the beginnings of maybe a foot of snow. Another foot of snow. This is very unusual for South Jersey in this era, I'll say. When I was a kid, it wasn't all that unusual. Back in the 70s, we would get snow for weeks, months even. It would hit the ground and would stay there. And now it's very unusual. This really hasn't happened in a significant way in about 20 years. And, but every once in a while, about every decade or two, we get a giant, just leveling of snow. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And I'm hoping that the snow will be melted before the weekend. We'll see. Joan, what? You have to sit on my lap for this, really? I don't know if I'm going to be able to take this. It's too hot. You're too hot, Joan. You're like a little hot water bottle sitting on my lap. Okay, does that make you happy? There you go. I'll pet your head. Oh, boy. That's okay. Nobody's here anyway yet. Anyhow. What else? Yeah, so we're getting about a foot of snow. So if the live stream goes dead all of a sudden, it's not dead, is it? No, we got some viewers. Uh, you know why. If I suddenly go offline, it probably means the power went out. I don't think it will, although one of my relatives lost power, so we'll see. He's kind of far away, a good half hour, 40 minutes, so hopefully that doesn't happen to us. And I'm in a more densely part of New Jersey. They can't let the power stay off as long here. It'll be more damage, so we tend to get more priority than he does. He's kind of out in the sticks to a small extent. But, oh, Joan, you're so comfy looking. Dogs look so comfy when they finally do get comfy, don't they? They just look like, oh, I'm having a great day. I'm sleeping. So today, we're going to look at the box office, as we often do. And we'll also be looking at some of the movies that came out. We'll be looking at the trades. I'll be talking about Marty Supreme since I just saw it. You can check out my review in one of my videos. But if you want to ask me any questions, I kind of hate Marty Supreme. I kind of hate the character. I kind of like some of the supporting cast a lot, but whew. All right. Shocking. Wuthering Heights did not stay number one. The number one movie in America is Goat, an animated kids movie. It's in slightly more theaters than Wuthering Heights, but it only dropped by 38%. So this thing has legs. Big legs. Giant legs. Walking around, Joan. But this just goes to show you, again, what movies have become. They've become a thing you take your kids to, for the most part. Wuthering Heights, I'm hearing that a lot of the movie has been compromised by an appeal to modern audiences. And we all know how well that works when it goes woke. So, yeah, it doesn't work. You should, especially when it's a classic like Wuthering Heights, you ought to stick to the damn book. There's a reason the book has lasted for a long time. Oh, but no, we're Hollywood. We know better. Look at our track record. I have. It sucks. So, Wuthering Heights is number 2. So, Goat is number 1, up from number 2. It's fairly impressive. Wuthering Heights goes from 1 to 2, which wouldn't be so bad, except it dropped 57%. And that's not a good sign. It's at 14.2 million. That's no bueno. Number 3, premiering at number 3, is I Can Only Imagine 2 from Lionsgate. 8 million. I think this is like a mildly religious movie. But the only thing worse than Wuthering Heights dropping by 57% is Crime 101 dropping by 59%. 5.7 million. Ouch. Ouch. Not good for Chris Hemsworth and cast. Number 5, dropping from 4, is Send Help. 4.5 million. This thing make its money, I wonder. I don't think it did. But let's check. 83 million is the total on a $40 million budget. So we're getting there. Getting there. Needs to make 100 million to break even. I think you might just do it. I mean, next week, probably looking at another 4 million. So you're at 87. Then 2 million, you're at 86. Then 1 million, you're at 87. Maybe if you add in, I don't know, Blu-ray and putting it on a platform, you might just squeak to 100 million. Kind of depends on how. I think they spent a lot of money advertising this thing. Number 6 is How to Make a Killing. This is that Glenn Powell movie. It's not getting very good reviews. 824, 3.56 million. It's only in 1,600 theaters though. So, but even if you double that, probably would at best come in 4th place. Number 7, Epic. Elvis Presley in concert. Get it? That seems like something that was brought back from Neon. 3.2 million? It's only in 325 theaters, so that's a pretty good number, though, for 325 theaters. So Elvis is still packing them in. Number 8, dropping from 5, is Solo Mio, starring Kevin James. 2.5 million. Not my kind of movie, but I will say to Kevin James, at least he's trying not to be political anymore. Let's see. Didn't really want that. I wanted the box office and the budget. Production budget says $4 million. Wow. If that's true, they're good. I don't know. Could that be true? If the whole budget of the movie is $4 million, how much did they pay Kevin James? I guess they could have paid him $1 million and made the rest for $3 million. Seems kind of tight, though, for a movie with Kevin James. Number 9 is Zootopia, dropping from 6 to 9. 2.3 million. This thing's a beast in its 13th week. Number 10, dropping from 8, Avatar, Fire and Ash, 1.8 million. Please go away. Number 11, premiering at number 11, is Psycho Killer, 1.6 million in 1,100 theaters. This got a really bad review that I read. Number 12, dropping from 7, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I'm sad to see this. 1.55 million, dropping 57% in its second week. That's not good. And they put it in more theaters. Ouch. It's a shame. I wanted to see this movie do well. I still want to see it. I haven't heard any bad things about it. I've heard nothing but good things, but I don't think it's going to be in theaters much longer. Number 13 is Dracula, 1.3 million. Number 14 is Iron Lung, dropping from 9, 1.1 million, still hanging in there. Oh, JEC is here. Hi, hi, hi. JEC, I heard there's a lot of weird sex stuff in it. I think you're talking about... I don't know what you're talking about, actually. I'm sorry, I didn't look at the chat until got a little zoned out. I had a Danish. It was full of sugar. I'm kind of trying to struggle to stay out of a food coma. I think you're talking about Crime 101. Is there weird sex stuff in it? I had not heard. The only thing else I could think you're talking about is maybe Send Help. And possibly Psycho Killer, but who cares? Psycho Killer sounds stupid. I don't think they'd be talking about that. Number 15 is Blades of the Guardians. 760K. I think that's a Chinese movie. JEC, Wuthering Heights. And you spelled it Withering Heights. Ha! Oh, yeah. I did hear that now that you mention it. Who was talking about that? I think my cinematographer friend mentioned that. Yeah. It's weird. Because you got a classic book. It's been made into a movie a bunch of times. People like it. Why mess with it? Right? It's the same thing with James Bond. Why mess with it? You could literally remake the same James Bond movie every single time. People would go see it. They'd probably like it. Right? Just put a different actor in it. I don't think people would have much of a problem with it. Not that I want that to happen. What I really want to happen is for Hollywood to go, oh, we're out of James Bond books. Well, guess we'll move on to something else. You know? That's what I want to see them do. JC, girls being led around in a chain and collar from the screenshots I saw. In Wuthering Heights? Oh my God. Let me see this. Am I going to find nudity? Wuthering Heights chain and collar scene. Try that. Let's see. Looking at the images, not seeing a shot from that. Here's something for Entertainment Weekly. Shocking Wuthering Heights dog collar scene off the deep end. The shocking moment comes towards the end of the film when Nellie visits Heathcliff with his wife Isabella at Wuthering Heights. There she finds the couple living in complete disarray with Isabella chained to the fireplace, a dog collar around her neck. What? That was so much fun, that scene. I think that was Emerald kind of taking the killing of the dog in these really dark parts of the novel and putting them into this scene. There was an infamous scene in Emily Bronte's 1847 novel in which Heathcliff kills Isabella's dog. I had so much fun because it's at that point Isabella and Heathcliff are completely off the deep end. They're living in a kind of hell, you know? No, I don't understand what you're talking about. What the hell are you talking about? And it's in one that Heathcliff doesn't mind living in as he attempts to claw his way back to real love, Kathy. For him, it's a self-generated hell. It's the moment that his obsession clicks over into something else, into rabid desperation, and he loses any semblance of composure. A nice point for the character, I think. Okay. Okay, JC has shot me a link. Let's see if I get into trouble for this one. Oh my goodness. You know what? I may have seen this in a trailer. I may have caught a glimpse of this. I didn't know what it was though. It's weird. I don't think anybody wanted to see that in a movie. Not this kind of movie. Am I wrong? I don't think the audience for this movie, which I assume would be mostly women wanting to see like very romantic stuff and costuming and stuff. Even I think there'd be a very tiny percentage that would want to see anything that far gone. You know, some of the younger women who are way too into these romancy things. LeMay is here. Hi, LeMay. Yeah, I think that's too much. JEC feels weird for a classic. Yeah, it feels like people in LA are having so much sex, they've gotten weird about it, and it just ends up bleeding into their work, and they think it's kind of normal. That's what I think. This is what I think for a lot of weird stuff that ends up in movies that probably shouldn't be there. People in Hollywood are so rich, they've become debauched and degenerate to the point at which they've normalized it, and they just don't see it anymore, you know? They go to parties, and they just are having tons of sex, and it's just so normalized they can't see the forest for the trees. So it ends up, they're sitting around writing scripts or pitching ideas, and they pitch something like that thinking it's going to be not as outrageous as they think it is. Like it's going to be, well, that's kind of outrageous. I was at a party last week and there was a girl with a dog collar on. But they think it's going to be like, oh, yeah, the audience will be okay with that. No, I don't think so. Not for a classic. Not for something that's supposed to be like costuming and romance. This may be a move to demoralize what audience Hollywood has left, right? It's kind of like what they did to men's IPs. They emasculated them, made them worthless to us. Now maybe they're going to do it with the female IPs. Yeah, let's just push this off a cliff and give her a dog collar. I know, Joe. Don't be insulted. It's not about you as a dog. I know. So where was I? Blades of the Guardians. Yeah, that's a Chinese movie. What? Do you want to get down? All right. Don't come crying to me. Pillion. In its third week. This is the gay biker movie. Yeah, just aren't enough gay movies. Remember, you guys probably aren't old enough to remember. I remember a time when, like, oh, they put a gay guy in this movie? Wow, that's crazy. Now it's like, oh, another gay movie. There was a time, though, when putting someone gay in your movie, and it wouldn't even have been like a realistic portrayal of a gay person. It would have been this like flaming gay guy. That was considered edgy in movies. I know it sounds weird to say now, but back then, Pillion. Okay. Oh, and that reminds me, I gotta tell you this story. So during the week, I got into an argument with a guy in my comments, and it started with this movie called Girls Like Girls, which is a lesbian drama. Surprise, surprise. And it's an indie movie. It's independent. And what I was saying in my analysis of the trailer is that a gay romance tends to have limited appeal because there's just not enough people interested in gay romance. The majority of the public is straight. There's not as many people who can relate to it. And so this guy or girl, I don't know, jumped in and said, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, old man. Gave me the old man boomer thing. And started talking about the cultural, like, relevance of LGBTQIA movies, right? And I'm just like, a lot of that's been AstroTurf, I think. And what hasn't been AstroTurfed has a ceiling to it, right? So now they went back at me with this new TV show called Heated Rivalry, which is it's about a gay hockey players in love. And it has an audience, believe it or not. Or at least it's being pushed as having a major audience. Like, they're doing articles like, even straight guys like Heated Rivalry. They don't. But it's popular enough amongst that niche crowd that they can kind of try to do this. So this person in my comments is arguing, no. I'm an old man thinking of Nielsen ratings. But really, you have to go all over social media and see the cultural impact that Heated Rivalry. Now, there was a first commenter that quoted evidence, and I asked for evidence, like, what's your evidence that this is a popular thing, like, really popular thing? So the first commenter put down Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, SNL had the actors on, and I think there was one other thing, and I shot back, well, those, you could completely disregard those, because that's television. They're all AstroTurfed, and they're all on the same network, by the way, NBC. So I was like, yeah, you can't really, that's a poor example, because, you know, it could be that it was a Canadian channel, I forget what it's called, that does Heated Rivalry, and it turned out they had a distribution deal with Warner Brothers, and they're going to be on Max. And then I said, Warner Brothers doesn't have a TV station anymore, so they probably went to NBC and said, make our boys popular, right? So NBC can put you on SNL, Seth Meyers, and Jimmy Fallon. Like, it's not hard at all. they have control of those shows. Like JEC, what streaming service is Heated Rivalry on? I think it's on Max in the United States, but it was on like a Canadian one because surprise, surprise, it's about hockey and gay guys, and it's on in Canada. So they, I said it's likely because they're all on the same network. It's likely they're, HBO just cut a deal with NBC and said put all our guys on. And but I said there's not no audience for Heated Rivalry or a show like that. I said there's a ceiling to it, right? Because scientifically, they did a study about men taking a look at pictures of men kissing and maggots coming out of meat. And they had the same level of disgust most of the straight men did looking at the two pictures, right? So most straight men have no interest in seeing two gay guys kiss. Therefore, they're not going to watch a show like Heated Rivalry. They just won't. 99% of them won't. There's like a tiny percentage that'll endure it for their wives or girlfriends, or actually kind of go, well, I love hockey so much, I'll watch it. But most men just aren't going to watch that. Most men don't like romance stuff anyway. They want, it would be different if it was two gay guys going after a drug kingpin who killed their friend. Oh, then we might watch it. I'd watch that. Because the focus would be on the action. They wouldn't have a lot of kissing scenes with the guys. It would be about them shooting dudes in the face, right? JEC, yes, it's really huge, but no one has heard of it before, like Bad Bunny. Yeah, there you go. So, like, people have heard of Heated Rivalry, but I only heard of it because I read about it in the trades. And the trades, as we've learned here week after week, they'll promote anything, right? And they'll say, oh my God, it's so big. Oh my God, it's so huge. They did the same thing with Bad Bunny, right? They're like, oh my God, a Spanish-speaking guy for the Super Bowl. It's it's stunning. It's brave. It's stunning and brave. More stunning, more brave. So he comes back at me several times saying the same thing over and over, and I'm just like, you could dismiss all that. And then he's like, well, what about the internet? And I'm like, what about the internet? I said, you can go to Reddit subreddit and see just about anything. JC, maybe it's huge. I didn't even realize the Olympics were going on until 4 days after it started. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Olympics are pretty huge, and people miss that. But he went back and forth with me, and each time he just kind of got madder. He insulted me a couple of times, but I didn't really care. But he wouldn't add to the conversation. I kept saying, how do you know what you know, right? What is your metric? Where is like a line here that I could go, okay, that's true, right? Like with the Nielsen's, I can at least look at the number. You can argue the number's not particularly accurate, and I'd probably agree with you, but at least it's a number. At least it's kind of a guide. Like you could say, well, if the Nielsen's rating's that high or that low, you can get an idea of the audience. But he had nothing, right? He just starts citing Reddit and I don't know, another site, and then he cited TikTok, and I was like, you can't even look at TikTok. TikTok is completely controlled by the Chinese up until a few weeks ago, and even now I wouldn't rely upon it. And then he said, oh, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and he went down that, and then he kept saying the same things over again. So finally I said to him, listen, either prove your point or get lost, because you're not adding anything to the discussion. You're just saying the same thing over and over again. And then he came right back with the same exact argument. So I didn't know if he was a bot or what. So I said, forget it. I banned him. I said, no more. Well, he makes a second account and comes back. Says, oh, you thought you could ban me, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, dude. I said, if you do this again, I'm going to report you. And I banned him again. So, but guy didn't have a point. The point I was trying to make for him, though, was he's got his own rambling experience, as we all do. JC, it's now controlled by China and Israel. That's better? Oh, I thought an American company bought it. I don't know. I wouldn't use it anyway. Anything that used to be controlled by China. I don't even trust X all that much, quite frankly, because the deep state controlled it for too long. I assume they have a million back doors into the damn thing. LeMay, bots. Yeah, exactly. It could have been a bot. It could have been a Chinese guy just arguing with me. I don't know. But my point was, you know, you have to, like, put up some amount of evidence. You can't just use your own rambling experience. And you can't actually sample enough of the internet to say, well, the internet's talking about it. You can kind of do that. I mean, from your perspective, you might think heated rivalry means something. But the algorithm, if you like heated rivalry, the algorithm keeps showing you heated rivalry. I don't like heated rivalry. I've never really looked at it. I don't know any of the actors. I haven't clicked on the show. I don't get that in my feed. So, you know, it was a stupid argument. And now he's gone. And that's how I argue. No, I just, really, I got sick of him. Because he wasn't adding anything. If you insult me and you don't add anything to discussion, why am I wasting my time? Anyhow, after Pillion is The Strangers Chapter 3, 560K. After that is Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, 550K, and its second week dropping 56%. It's a very small movie. I kind of would see it. I hear it's mildly funny. Midwinter Break premieres at, it looks like 18, 19. 530K in 808 theaters. Don't know what this is. Midwinter Break. Oh, yes, I do. So it's about this couple. I'll read the synopsis. Retired longtime couple. Stella, it makes it sound like they've retired from being a couple. Retired longtime couple Stella and Jerry travel from their home in Glasgow to Amsterdam for an impromptu holiday. Traversing the beautiful European city, they find themselves freed from the staid routines that have come to define their lives. But as the hours pass, Stella and Jerry realize that after decades together, their relationship has reached a crossroads. After so much time and so many memories, long-held promises and deeply concealed wounds threaten to come to light and force them to control their future. No idea what you're even talking about. Clint Miller's here. Hello, everybody. Wet snow in Maryland. Little accumulation. Oh, you got lots here. Gonna get like a foot. I am not happy. I hope it turns to rain, but it probably won't. Next up is Kokuho. I don't know. It's a cartoon. It's in week 15. $409,000. After that is The Housemaid, still in theaters, $350K. Marty Supreme, which I saw the other night and did a review of, $280K. Hamnet, $210K, still in theaters. This is not a test. $150K for 450 theaters. That doesn't sound very good. Follows Sloane Price, a self-deleting and abused teen girl as she faces mental torments of her abusive father and being abandoned by her elder sister, all the while reluctantly surviving alongside 5 other damaged teenagers. Man, that sounds depressing. Who the hell would watch this movie? That sounds awful. Surat is next. No Other Choice, that South Korean flick, $75K. Surat was $110. The Moment, $71K. Secret Agent, still in theaters, $55K. Nataz, $31K. Arco, $29K. Sentimental Value, more Oscar bait, $20K. Billy Preston, That's the Way God Planned It, $15K. And A Poet, $14,167 in its 4th week. That is a total of $73,305,020. That's terrible. Yeah. But it is February. So, and it is snowing around here. So nobody's going to the movies in South Jersey. I'll tell you that. Not tonight. Well, I guess you could go now and get home soon, but. So, yeah. Not a great box office. Not a great week. Next week is March, so maybe you could have a premiere squeak in kind of halfway in. See, like, February is Saturday, and then March is Sunday, the 1st. So you'd be squeaking in just under the wire into February against nobody, but at the same time, your movie would run in March, which is technically kind of the spring. But I don't know. This weather doesn't get any better. No one's going to the damn movies. So, yeah, that was terrible. Let's move on to the trades. See if it can give us any answers why everything is so freaking terrible. Oh, one battle after another dominates the BAFTAs. This is the English Oscars. And I am not surprised at all. Because Hollywood desperately wants the movie about communism to win a bunch of Oscars. And so, here you go. BAFTA loved it. I assume all the Brits, since they're chock full of communists over there, oh, they saw one battle after another. Oh, yes. Yes, why don't more Americans rise up and overthrow their government? Timothy Chalamet reflects on the end of Dune, calls the finale the eeriest movie in the trilogy. I was more intense on the third. I guess. I don't know. I still haven't seen the trilogy. I kind of want to, but I kind of don't. All right. Are you ready to look at the look of everybody at the BAFTAs? Or should I go to the New York Post? I probably should hit the New York Post to do this. Let's go to New York Post. Because they usually have a better photo thing. Oh, there's more Epstein stuff. There we go. BAFTAs. Is this... Let's see. Is this going to show me all the costuming? Maybe not. All right. Guess we're stuck with Variety, whatever Variety did on the red carpet. So let's take a look. Who wore what? Timothy Chalamet wore all black. Okay, don't care about Leo. Paul Mescal and Gracie Abrams. Where are the chicks? Michael Jordan, don't care. This is Prince William and Kate Middleton. All right, she looks okay. Kind of flat-chested. I thought she had a bigger rack than that, quite frankly. Chase Infinity. I guess. Is that a very practical dress? It seems like a dress you'd trip over, but again, more Hunger Games vibes. Oh, here we go. Renati Reinsev. I can't say her name, but oh, you gotta be hot stuff to wear that kind of dress, right? You gotta be doing your sit-ups. And they gotta have that glued onto her boobs. That's the only way it's gonna stay. All right, let's just squirt the glue. All right, I'll just put this on you. There's Cillian Murphy. There's Emma Stone. Emma Stone also kind of looking flat-chested in that. Oh, at least she's sort of cheered up. I guess she's nominated for what? That Begonia movie? She's still promoting that, I guess. Who's this? Odysee Azaon. I don't know who that is. Ryan Coogler. Jessie Buckley. I don't know who she is. I guess that's Paul Mescal's girlfriend. Emma looks good. It's kind of flat-chested, though. JC. Emma was always skinny. Thought she had more boobs going for her, though. What the hell are they wearing? Oh, this is the K-pop Demon Hunters? I guess. Only the middle one looks good. The other two look like they're wearing weird stuff. I don't know who that is. Alicia Vlankender or something. That's it's like a kitchen apron that went wrong. Doesn't look good. Why is everybody so flat-chested at this thing? Did they ban boobs from the BAFTAs? No boobs. I say, if you're more than an A cup, we don't want you here. Boobies, no. JC, I mean, they're supposed to be cartoons. Chloe Zhao actually has a nice dress on. There's, what's his face? Clint Miller. Amber says they wore push-up bras in the 2000s. Well, go back to that. Gillian Anderson. She looks okay for her age. Don't know who that is. What? Is she undercover? What's going on with Tiana Taylor? I think I found Carmen Sandiego, everybody. What the hell is this outfit? Morticia loan it to you? Wait, I might have one more. No, I think that's it. You gotta go drink some blood after this? What the hell's going on? What an outfit. Jacoby and Noah Jupe. Who are these guys? And that's Kate Hudson. I guess that's not a bad dress. She doesn't look herself in that photo, though. I don't like that photo of her. You know what it is? I think it's too dead on. It's kind of flattening her face. It's making her ears look ginormous. Yeah, it's a bad picture, I think. She's better looking than that. JC, you beat me to Carmen Sandiego joke. Ha! The Danish is wearing off. Benicio del Toro. Emily Watson. What the hell? JC, Kate looks fine. Resting biche face. Emily Watson, did she just get out of chemo? What's going on? Harry Melling. He looks familiar. I can't remember what he's from. Rose Byrne. Well, that's a nice dress, I guess. Again, everybody's looking flat-chested. Catherine Hahn. Catherine Hahn looks, I don't know. Her face doesn't look good there. I mean, she's not, like, beautiful. She's pretty good looking, but... I don't know who that is. Kerry Washington. I guess. Bit long. This guy forgot his shirt underneath. Don't know who that is. Don't know who he is. Looks like a gayer Adam Ant. There's Ethan Hawke. Okay, Sadie Sink. That's nice. Just got out of the prom. Nice of you to show up. But she looks good. JEC, Mrs. Hahn from Handmaid's Tale. Amy Lou Wood. Oh, she's the girl from Fallout. Man, she does not look good in that dress. She's normally pretty cute, but man, that dress makes her look wide as hell. That's a bad look. Flesh-colored dress almost. Yeah, she should have picked a different color. I think she needed, like... You know what she should have wore? Because she's from the Fallout show. She should have wore like a blue and gold dress, like the colors of her character from the show. She wears the Fallout jumpsuit. Yeah, something that matches the color of that would look good on her. Carrie Mulligan. I guess she looks okay. I don't know. Alan Cumming. I guess he's playing Snape in the new Harry Potter. What the hell kind of outfit is this? JC. Looks like it's falling off. Yeah, it's weird. Ted Sarandos. That's a guy who runs Netflix. What's he doing there? Don't know who he is. Don't know who that is, but at least she has a rack. Holy cow, what a name. Gugu Mbatha-Raw. Phew. No idea who she is. Wumi Masaku. Her I heard of. She was in one of the trailers I looked at. Jafar Panahi. Maggie Gyllenhaal. Holy cow. What is going on with her? Wow, she does not look good in that picture at all. Whoa. Whoa, what is up with that? Did she have a bad surgery? What's going on? JC, I guess a lot of these are British actors, yeah. But look at Maggie Gyllenhaal. She does not look... Man, she does not look good. What is going on with her face? Did she have a messed up plastic surgery? I'm being totally serious. JC, Maggie looks kind of like a grandma. Yeah. How old is she? She can't be that old. I mean, there's a good picture of her. 77, so she's 48? 48. That doesn't look like 48 to me. Yeah, JC says 48. That is not 48. What is going on there? Did she get a botch? Her whole face looks messed up, doesn't it? Like one side looks like she's sticking out, and then this side looks like it's pushed in. Oh my God. That's shocking. Erin Doherty. What a terrible dress. JC, 48 is pretty old. Not to me, it's not. Look at this dress. Okay, I need to design a new dress. What should it look like? And then he looks at a napkin holder and goes, that's it. JC, she's caking on the makeup. She's got the old lady jowls going in. I know. But this dress should have stayed home in a closet somewhere. Like, I don't even think Harley Quinn would wear this dress. And Harley Quinn wouldn't be as flat-chested. Everybody's just as flat as a board at this thing. There's Glenn Close. Now, Glenn Close is older, so it's a perfectly fine outfit for someone her age. At least she's dressing appropriately. I don't know, this guy... McKenna Bruce. She's cute. I like her. It's a nice dress. She looks cute. Okay, I think we have a winner. Patrick Dempsey. And that's it. All right. Ryan Coogler makes BAFTA history as first black winner of original screenplay for Sinners. JEC. Glenn wear her robe to the show? Well, you know, she's older. You gotta wear something that's not revealing and looks comfortable and just has a design on it. You have to distract it from you. It's the whole point when you're old, right? But the thing about Glenn Close, I never thought she was good looking to begin with. She never, even when she was young, it was like, Ryan Coogler makes BAFTA history as first black winner of original screenplay for Sinners. Can you believe they're still saying that? Tired old chestnut. Oh, it made history. Made history. It's not really history, okay? Like, it was history a long time ago when there was so much racism in Hollywood that they wouldn't even put black people in movies. But this is 2026, dude. Okay, stop saying it's history. I mean, I get it. He could be you know, you could say he's the first black guy, I guess, but it just feels like at this point, how many more categories? JC, she looked old even when she was young. Yeah. Kid Rock predicts God will cut down journalists for reporting accurately that he's charging up to $5,000 for tour tickets. Is that true? I don't know. Bruce Springsteen was charging an outrageous sum too. Wouldn't pay that. Your dog news is here. Good Tony and chat. I think you mean good evening. Good to you too, sir. BAFTA Film Awards 2026 winners, one battle after another, dominates with 6, including Best Film. Sinners wins 3 prizes. So this could probably mirror the Oscars. So let's just take a quick look. Okay, of course there's no bullet points. Oh, yeah, yes there is. Best Film, one battle after another. Best Director, one battle after another. Leading Actor, Robert Aramayo, I Swear. I don't even know that movie. Supporting Actress, Wumi Masaku for Sinners. Slightly different categories for BAFTA. Supporting Actor, Sean Penn, one battle after another. Outstanding British Film, Hamnet, won. Outstanding, is that really a British film? Chloe Zhao's not British, is she? How is it British? Because there's a lot of British people in it? How do they determine that? Your dog news. Yes, and good evening. JEC. 5K to see Kid Rock for people who have too much money and terrible taste in music. I like a couple of his songs. Outstanding debut by a British writer, My Father's Shadow. Adapted screenplay, one battle after another. Original screenplay, Sinners. Children's and family film, Boing. Film not in the English language, Sentimental Value. Costume design, Frankenstein. Visual effects, Avatar, Fire and Ash. Documentary, No One Cares. Zootopia 2, one for animated film. Casting, I Swear. Cinematography, one battle after another. Name 3 Kid Rock songs. Okay. It's been a while. Oh God. The ball to the boy. What's My Name is Kid Rock. That's the lead song, the one that everybody knows. Ball tip the ball, bang a bang, diggy diggy. That song. That song is okay. Or I used to like it. I don't know. I haven't heard it in a while. I can't remember the names. I did like a couple of the songs. I have the one album. I couldn't tell you the titles. I can't think of them now. I could probably go get the CD if I could. I think I know where it is. I'm not going to bother. Your dog news. 5K is too much to see anyone. I agree. I wouldn't pay 5K unless you threw in a, I don't know, like the plane fare and the hotel to the volcano where you're going to throw the virgins into. I don't know. Like 5K is just too much money for me. JC, he has 2 songs people know, one that anyone actually liked. 5K, are Kid Rock tickets code for a used car? I don't even think you can get a used car for 5K anymore. Editing, one battle after another. Makeup and hair, Frankenstein. Original score, Sinners. That one's deserved, I think. Production, Frankenstein. Sound, F1. I knew F1 would win for sound. That's about it, really. Oh, shit. JC, Ba And Cowboy. Yeah, that's the song. I'm a Cowboy. That one. I also like the one. There's this little guy. He was a dwarf who was one of his fans, and he produced a song with him, and they sung both together. I can't think of what it was called either. Let's see. Prince William and Kate Middleton attend BAFTA Film Awards amid royal family drama. Okay, who cares? Well, I guess the Brits do. GOAT unseats Wuthering Heights after close race for number one. Not really. It won by almost $3 million. JEC. 5K is like a Wayfair cupboard type deal where it's really a white slavery trafficking ring? I don't think so. BAFTAs make the Oscar race messy from Timothée Chalamet's shocking loss to Sean Penn and Wumi Musaki proving supporting races are anyone's game? What the hell you mean? Supporting races? Do you mean... Are you implying that they only picked her because she was black? And that you have to support black people because they're black? Is that what you're implying, Variety? I'm not surprised you're doing it. I'm just sort of surprised you're doing it so blatantly. Weird. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Proving supporting races. Oh, I think they mean supporting actor races. Or anyone's game. Okay. I think I got it now. I think it's just poorly worded. JC supporting racist based? No, it's not based to support racist. JC. No. They're saying the supporting races. In other words, the supporting actor races. I think that's what they mean to say. Prince William awards exceptional NBC Universal Chief Donna Langley highest BAFTA honor. She is a shining light. I never heard of this person. Why is she getting an award? Is it just because she's rich, and this is what royals do now? Give rich people awards. JEC. I support Joan. Joan's pretty based. Joan said some things. She's a dog. She doesn't understand what she's saying. Marty Supreme ties BAFTA record for most losses in history. Well, after seeing Marty Supreme, I don't think it should win too many awards. I would have given one to Gwyneth Paltrow's really good at it. I was surprised. I'm not a big fan of hers, but she was good. She was good in the movie. Everybody else is pretty good. I mean, the shocking thing is Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank's in it, and he's pretty good for a guy who's... I don't think he's an actor at all. But, your dog news. Joan is the most based. She's a little too based sometimes. Yeah, like, Mr. Wonderful is not an actor, but he's really good in the movie. Like, he's as good as any of the other actors on the screen. Timothée Chalamet is, and again, if you see my review, it may be that I just hate his character so much I can't get past it, but he's not particularly good. He's not bad, but I didn't feel like, wow, this is an amazing performance. I just thought, oh, okay, saying the lines. Even Tyler, the Creator, who's a rap guy, he was good. And his character had more personality than Timothée Chalamet, I thought. Your dog news. She gets pretty bad when you have to leave her to take over the stream. Can't believe the thing she says. I'm very sorry about that. So, more on the BAFTAs. Variety, what country do you publish in again? Moving on to Fandapulse. William Shatner is releasing a heavy metal album at 94 years old. William Shatner is Canadian, but he's an American treasure. JC, I like Tyler the Creator. He's pretty good in the movie. He doesn't have a lot of lines, but I would have rather followed his character around than Timothée Chalamet. How Starfleet Academy's Cosine corrupts classic Star Trek's amok time into feminist LGBTQ propaganda. Well, there's a simple cure for that. Don't watch the show. Don't watch the show. Don't watch the show. Don't ever watch Kurtzman Track. Ever. There's a real simple way to do this. If you hear a show is woke, don't watch it. Just don't watch it. That's what I do. I hear the show's woke. Oh, I'm not going to watch that. Life is too short to even watch good TV. I'm not even going to waste my time. If it's good, if it turns out that's a lie, that really it's not woke and it's actually very good, I'm sure I'll hear about it again. But if I hear one complaint that a show's woke, I'm out. I'm just out. It's on the list. I just don't go see it. I don't need to see it. I don't think I have people running around the internet calling everything woke when it's not. And if someone does and there's a misunderstanding, well, eventually somebody will say, no, you got to give this show a chance. If it's any good, or the movie or whatever. But, I mean, could we have a more obvious thing for LGBTQ nonsense than start Woke Fleet Academy? I mean, the show's just, it's completely off the rails woke. I mean, it's so woke, it's, eventually going to come all the way around and be based. I mean, it's so woke. So, who cares? Just don't watch it. Just don't watch it. Let it just die in the ratings. Kurtzman Track is on its last legs. They're getting ready to shit can him anyway. Sorry, my French. Let him get fired. In a couple of years, maybe you'll get your Star Trek back. But then again, just go watch something else. There's a million things out. I saw a good trailer today. It's called, I don't like the title, but it's called Is God Is. And it's a revenge movie about two, and it's a totally black cast. It's directed by a black female, I think. And it just looks kick-ass. It looks totally kick-ass. And the people doing DEI should be ashamed of themselves because it looks like an original movie that's totally kick-ass. So, it's just a matter of time. Just let people make films, and eventually you'll get someone who's a person of color, and you say, oh, thank God, a person of color, I could watch their movie, or whatever you racists do for DEI. And instead of elevating people who have no business directing or writing movies. And that's what we've gotten. That's why DEI has all but destroyed Hollywood and video games and comics and everything else. You've got all these people, they don't know what they're doing. They just hired these people based on immutable characteristics, thinking, oh, well, they have a voice. Not everybody can do every job. Okay? It's like being a professional athlete. I knew a guy who was a professional. He was on a professional team, but he left because even though he was like the best football player in his high school by far, and he was the best guy in his college by far, the moment he got up he said, the moment I got into the NFL, everybody was that guy, and he was back on the bottom again. And he stayed in for a couple of years, made some money, and he left because he wasn't the best. He wasn't the best out of that group. And that's the way it goes. That's merit. And they can't fake it with athletic prowess, no matter how much they try. You really can't fake it with creativity either. There are people who are good at this stuff and people who suck at it. When I was working for this video production company, We had people who would come in all the time, and they desperately wanted to be in the movies. They desperately wanted to be in the movies. Oh, my relative got their power back. They desperately wanted to be in the movies, and they would come to the production company because they wanted to make, this is early 90s, they wanted to make a videotape of themselves acting. And let me tell you, we had, I don't know, maybe a dozen different clients like that. Every one of them was worse than the next. They couldn't act. They couldn't act at all. They had no idea what acting was. Some of them had made up their own scripts. They had no idea how to write. One woman in particular came in, and she had 24 different outfits, and she thought that by wearing really nice outfits and putting on great makeup, she could make a video and convince people to hire her as an actress. And she was terrible. She was terrible at everything we shot. She was so nervous. She was shaking in some of them. I mean, she was horrifically bad. We felt bad taking her money. But she wanted to do it. And look, if you want to live your dream, even if you have no talent for your dream, that's fine. But there's a reason some people are in the business and some people aren't. And when you add DEI to the mix, you added a bunch of people who are talentless. They're just talentless. You know, William Shatner is a perfect example. That guy is he's such a friggin' actor. First off, he loves acting. He loves acting in everything he does. You can tell, like every script Shatner has, he memorizes, and he's one of those guys, he can hit his mark every single time. He delivers the line exactly the same way every take, unless you ask him to change it a little. That's what a good actor can do. They just know their lines. They hit their mark every single time. They're not going to laugh. They're not going to stammer. They're amazing. They're amazing at that. And they're convincing. There's a lot of people, they can barely say the lines. They get nervous. I was one of those guys. Until I did improv for 15 years, I was terrible. I was terrible when they put the camera on me. I would get nervous sometimes. I would need like a good 4 or 5 takes before I could get through my lines even halfway well. So, it's tough. It's tough to act. Especially on TV, and especially when we got a bunch of impatient guys saying, hurry up and say the line. But if you have no talent whatsoever and you haven't worked at it, you just can't walk in and do it. And that's what they thought these DEI hires could do. That just because they hired a bunch of DEI hires who said they wanted to be actors, who said they wanted to be writers, they'd be able to do it. Just because they're different and they have different stories. That's just not how it works. 1348, ex-voto bombs. Royal Road automatic censorship. Bethesda turns to Reddit. Fandom Pulse daily briefing. We'll take a look at this. Don't say the C word and experience what Royal Road. I don't know what that is. Beyond Middle Earth. J.R.R. Tolkien's forgettable works. Or forgotten works. Bethesda game director Todd Howard admits he uses Reddit to gauge player interest and feedback. That is a terrible way to gauge anything. Reddit is chock full of communist college students. Their brains are cooked. You want to see cooked brains on the internet? Reddit is the top place I recommend. It's bad in there. And I only go to very limited subreddits to promote my book. And man, it's hard enough to even do that. And I question if it's even worth it doing that. But holy cow, man. Even in the South Jersey subreddit, they won't shut up about politics sometimes. Pokemon Red and Pokemon Leaf Green to arrive on Nintendo Switch later this month. There you go, Pokemon fans. Demon Slayer, Kimi Yatsu no Yaba Infinity Castle, to return to theaters in March. Oh, no. Oh, here it is. Woke LGBTQ plus game 1348 ex voto bombs as demo barely gets over 100 concurrent players. So this is a woman pretending to be a man in a man's world, and I think she's a lesbian too, and who cares? Speaking of gay stuff, Starfleet Academy actor claims show and franchise is a vehicle for LGBTQ plus propaganda. We know. This is a funny picture. Harlan Ellison's greatest hit sells over 100K copies, proving there's a market for short fiction. Did anybody remember the Adult Swim show? Oh, God. It was called A Dark Place. And it had a fake horror writer on it. And his last name was Ferengi. I forget his first name. Something Ferengi. And each week he hosted and he starred in the show. And then the show was also a documentary about, they had shot the show but had gone off the air. It was this wild BBC show. And I think Matt Berry was in it too, I think, for a short time. And the guy from the IT crowd, whose name I can never remember, the black guy with the funky hair, he was in it too. It was such a funny show. Harlan looks like that character in this picture. I interviewed him once, and it was crazy. All right, over to the Hollywood Reporter. California Dreamin', NBC kicks off 2028 LA Olympics marketing campaign with Kate Hudson. Yeah, I know when I think of the Olympics, I think of Kate Hudson. What's Kate Hudson think of sports? Why Kate Hudson? How to watch the 2026 BAFTA Awards online in the U.S.? Could you tell me how to avoid the BAFTA Awards? That would be more useful for me. Decency is a superpower. Donna Langley receives BAFTA fellowship touting cinema's power to help us see each other more clearly. That sounds pretty woke, whatever it is. The Sopranos star Steve Scrippa claims someone on set was selling information about storylines. That sounds like it would be a thing that someone on The Sopranos would do, doesn't it? Sounds like something the characters would do. JEC, famous athlete Kate Hudson. Bobby Bacala. That's who that is. I never remember his name. I only remember him as Bobby Bacala from The Sopranos. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2 moves up to August 2027. 2027? Okay, sure. Face Off sequel loses director Adam Wingard. It's not going to be Nick Cage and John Travolta again, is it? Isn't one of them dead? Isn't one of the characters dead? Oh, it's a follow-up? Isn't one of the characters dead? Face Off remake was in the works in 2019. So is it a sequel or a remake? In 2021, the studio brought on Wingard to direct a sequel from a screenplay he was writing with Simon Barrett. Okay. I'd rather see a sequel than a remake. I don't know how you're doing a sequel to that movie, but okay. Mark Ruffalo questions James Cameron's disapproval of Netflix Warner Brothers deal and support of Paramount. I disapprove of your opinion, sir, and I'm not failing to make it known that I question your disapproval. I'm Mark Ruffalo, and I question James Cameron's disapproval. I think you should approve, sir. As an actor, You are merely a producer and director. The man who hired me. Although didn't hire him. I don't think he's been in a James Cameron movie. Mark Ruffalo questions James Cameron's disapproval. We are really living in Hunger Games times for our celebrities, aren't we? Venom animated movie in the works with Final Destination filmmaker Zach Lipkowski. Adam B. Stein. That sounds like a mistake. I think Venom really has run its course. The only reason the first one even had a shot is because you cast the amazing Tom Hardy in the lead. Tom Hardy, man, that guy's good. He can elevate almost any movie he's in. It's amazing. But yeah, I think that's a mistake. Stephen Amell had to run after Baywatch lead role, but not in slow motion? Huh? I don't know what you mean by that. Margot Robbie's 11 best performances ranked. Do we want to see this? Well, it will be pictures of Margot Robbie, so let's take a look. All right, 11 best performances ranked. Number 11, Dreamland. I didn't see that. Number 10, Z for Zachariah. I didn't see that one either. Number 9, Mary, Queen of Scots. Too much makeup. Didn't see that. Wuthering Heights, number 8. She looks better in that, but didn't see it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I did see this. She was pretty good, but she's not in it very often. Number 6, Bombshell. I did not see this. Don't know if I would. I think this is the one about Fox News and the sexual harassment case. JEC. Seen Robbie Margot's top performances before. Babylon. Babylon looked good. Number 4, Barbie. Barbie's number 4. The Wolf of Wall Street. Damn, I like that one. She's a hot smoke show in that one. Number 2, The Suicide Squad. I still haven't seen Suicide Squad, and I don't think I ever will. And number 1, I, Tonya. I think the other Suicide Squad she's good in. Was this the one? The Suicide Squad. You know what? This is that one. Yeah, this is the good one. She's good in that. I liked her in that. All right, moving on to Bounding in the Comics. Director Emerald Fennell explains what made her cancel Zatanna movies so demented. I was a woman in the middle of a nervous breakdown. Okay. JC, 2021 was the more recent one. Yes, you're correct. Remembering Manhunter and RoboCop 2 star Tom Noonan, who passed away at 74. R.I.P. Vaguely remember him. This week, Scarlett Johansson joined more than 800 creatives in the Stealing Isn't Innovation campaign against AI companies. But why won't Hollywood just sue AI companies into oblivion? Because they're going to make money. They're going to get rid of the actors, and they will have actors who will never complain, don't eat, and will appear in anything they want them to, and will say anything they want them to, 24/7. That's why. The only reason they would sue them into oblivion, they're probably just waiting for them to become more viable as companies so they can buy them. But I don't think the studios have that much money. The tech companies have more money than the studios, I would say. So I think they'll wait too long and then they won't buy them. They should start their own AI companies, really. They should have their own AIs, and I think they will just buy one. Eventually, I think AIs will just be purchased, and their power will be determined by how much money you spend on the power and the RAM and all that good computer stuff. And eventually, they'll become cheaper and cheaper and cheaper until we all have one, and they'll all be amazing. You know, until they figure out a way to charge us more for them. So, I think it would be fun to have an AI of my own. Not to replace me, but to do everything I told it to do. Because at least somebody would listen to me then. That would be great. Deadline. Trump tells Netflix to fire board member Susan Rice or pay the consequences. I don't think Trump can do that. I mean, he could say that, but I don't think he could actually attack Netflix just because they won't fire somebody off their board. As more stuff on BAFTA. BAFTA. Operation Mincemeat, departing original cast to perform a live stream concert this evening as a final stage performance gets Blizzard canceled. I don't know what that is. It must be a Broadway thing. NFL wide receiver Rondale Moore dies at 25. I believe it was self-deletion. That's a shame. BAFTA. Rebecca Gayheart thanks supporters after Eric Dane's death. So blown away. I did not know. I don't know if you guys remember Rebecca Gayheart. She was a smoke show back in the day. Beautiful girl. I did not know she was married to Eric Dane. It's a shame he just died. All right, moving on to Bleeding Fool. Pulp Fiction writer says AI movies are the new gold rush. I think they certainly are. I think they will be. We got to get to the point, though. They're not quite there. So, like the other day, I wanted to do a Seinfeld bit. Like Rock can do a 10-second video, right? So I wanted to do a Seinfeld bit because everybody's been doing Seinfeld recently on X. So I wanted to do I wanted to do one of the characters talking about the Jersey Devil. So I tried a couple of suggestions, and the AI made some characters, but they didn't look anything like the cast from Seinfeld. So then I took a picture of the Seinfeld cast, and I put it in, and I said, make this animate these characters, and then have them have a conversation about the Jersey Devil. And they still look different. The moment they moved, they changed. It was weird. But I did just do some AI stuff. Let me find it. Here's the Pineys, cover 15 with the new Grok. So that looks pretty cool. The music isn't quite right, but the movement's kind of cool. All right, so that was that. And then I made one for 16. Here's the one for 16. So this is the Echo Ghost. And a guy is about to hit him with a car, but which is how the ghost comes into being. But then the car drives backwards away very quickly, I'll add. But it looks kind of cool. So there you go. So it can do some cool stuff with the covers and whatnot, but I haven't been able to do much beyond that. I haven't been able to get them to say lines. Like the AI doesn't really take the line at face value. It really doesn't. And that's a real problem, especially if you're doing a script and you want the characters to say the lines. So hopefully we'll reach to the point where you can just describe a character, tell the AI who he is and say, here's all his dialogue. And then you describe the other characters and say, make them say their dialogue. And then you describe the setting, and then you describe, whatever. And then you just start doing scenes, and you put the whole. I'll be able to put the whole book into the computer and get it to do the book. That would be cool. But until that happens, I don't think the AIs are going to be able to make movies. Not this year, anyway. Give it another. I'd say you'd have to give it another 2 or 3 years. Superhero replacement theory. So that's true. They're trying to replace most of the superheroes with women. A few of them they're doing race swaps, but mostly for women. This week, we talked about Kurt Cobain's self-deletion, whether it was a self-deletion or if he was murdered. A lot of people think he was murdered. I don't know. Seems pointless to even investigate it now. He's been dead for so long. But I don't know. There's some rumblings. DC celebrates the 40th anniversary of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. I remember when The Dark Knight Returns came out. And I bought it, and it was good. And then it was so good that DC Comics basically took its entire history and bent it into the direction of The Dark Knight Returns, so it would have to happen that way. So everything mentioned in the idea behind The Dark Knight Returns, it was like Batman after he had retired and then come back for one last time. And all the characters, all the major DC characters and what kind of happened to them. But mostly it was about Batman kind of reaching the end, I'll say. And so there's a lot of stuff mentioned. And then after that, the book was so insanely popular, DC got infected by it. And then they started to do series and things that would lead up to that. It was weird. Indie Phantom is here. Whoa, was late. Talking to my parents online. Well, you could talk to your parents anytime. I'm only here on Sundays at 7, Indy. I will have to rewind and check the box office later. You're not missing much. You're not missing much. JC, spoilers for a 40-year-old comic. What, you haven't read The Dark Knight Returns? I mean, if you haven't read The Dark Knight Returns, I mean, you're just not... I didn't even spoil it. Yes, it turns out... I'll spoil it now. It turns out Superman is Batman's father. There, you happy? So there's a lot of talk of AI this week, but that's about it. It's all talk. It's all talk right now. Over at the Wrap. BAFTA host thanks crowd for understanding after Tourette's syndrome activist yells N-word at Michael B. Jordan. What the hell? Whoa. BAFTA. What? What's going on? Does that really happen? Does he really have Tourette's? Or did he just say that after he got caught? Well, that's crazy. C-SPAN denies Trump used pseudonym to call in and complain about the Supreme Court. So, apparently, JEC, Rosebud was the bullet that killed his mother. Indie Phantom. I'm so sick of these freaking animated flicks. Yeah. Well, it was number one. It's what I said earlier was the reason GOAT's number one is because movies have become the place to take your kids. That's the bottom line. Nobody else is going. The adults aren't going. It's not a thing adults do anymore. It's just a place to take your kids and kill 2 hours. So anyhow, apparently Trump has a pseudonym named John Barron that he used to call people before on TV and yell at them. So apparently a John Barron called C-SPAN to yell and complain about the Supreme Court's recent decision against his tariffs. And it sounds like him, and so they're thinking it's really him. Which would be hilarious if that's true. I wouldn't put it past him. Indie Phantom. Wasn't GOAT number 2 last week? Yes, it was. It was Wuthering Heights and then GOAT. And this week it's GOAT and Wuthering Heights. Indie Phantom. So sounds like the Glenn Powell movie flopped. Yep. Yeah, that was way down on the list. 8 best new movies and shows to stream this weekend on Netflix, Apple TV, and more. Well, that's something I need because I'm trapped in the house for the next 2 days. Let's see. Indie Phantom. Psycho Killer didn't do well, but I want to see it because the writer of 7 and 8mm and looks like a decent slasher. I read one write-up and it didn't give it high praise. It said it was boring, but I'm not a big slasher guy. JC, sir, you named your son Baron. Maybe you should come up with a new fake name. Okay, so this is what you can watch. 8 best new movies you could stream this weekend on Netflix. 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Please. You couldn't pay me to watch that one. I literally just got rid of Netflix. And if it's on Netflix, I think it is. Because they're trying to charge me $20 a month. I had it for free for 3 years. I think I watched it, I don't know, a dozen times maybe in 3 years. There's just not enough on it. It's mostly garbage. 28 years later, The Bone Temple, that's garbage to me. No thank you. No other choice. Now, this movie looks kind of good. I hear it's good anyway. It's a South Korean movie where this guy loses his job, and then he's interviewing for a new job, and he really, really needs it. And then the company says, well, there are 4 or 5 candidates, and he's one of them. And they're not sure who they're going to go with. So he takes it upon himself to kill the other candidate so he could get the job. Indie Phantom. It's on Netflix already. It just went on PPV. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Didn't Netflix make it? No. Columbia Pictures. I don't know. It's terrible. I think it's terrible anyway. Indie Phantom. Tubi blows away Netflix. I agree. Yeah, I'm going to check out No Other Choice. I found it just lying around online. 56 Days, Season 1. Amazon's premiere video is vying for your attention with this week with 56 Days, a new series from showrunners Karen Usher and Lisa Zerwig. Is an adaptation of Catherine Ryan Howard's novel of the same name. It follows a woman, Dove Cameron, and a man who meet and quickly hit it off, only for the latter to end up dead 56 days after they met. To make matters worse, Cameron's Sierra quickly emerges as number 1 suspect in the other suspicious death. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it doesn't sound terrible. It doesn't sound particularly cool. Murder in Glitterball City, HBO Max. I could actually see this. It's a true crime documentary. The two-part documentary explores a grisly murder in Louisville, Kentucky of one of America's most haunted neighborhoods and the toxic relationship, vulnerable victim, and unreliable counts connected to the crime. Yeah, maybe. Night Agent, Season 3. Okay. I don't know. It says it's a hit series. Follows Peter Sutherland as he's called in to track down a young treasury agent who's believed to have fled to Istanbul with sensitive government information after killing his boss. Before long, Peter finds himself investigating a dark money network while also trying to avoid the paid assassins employed by the organization. Sounds like Alias Part 2. Is that What's-Her-Face in it? No, that's What's-Her-Face in something else. The Last Thing He Told Me, Season 2, Apple TV. Okay. It's been nearly 3 years since the thriller, which is based on the novel of the same name by author Laura Dave, premiered. The Last Thing He Told Me promises to drop viewers right back into its story. Follows Jennifer Garner's Hannah Hall as she races with all her stepdaughter Bailey to reunite your family after her husband Owen resurfaces following 5 years spent on the run. Okay. Indie Phantom. Been watching some desert thrillers from a director called J.S. Cardone. Cool neo-nori vibes. I also finally saw Mia Sara naked in one. I was not disappointed. You will recognize her. Jennifer Garner's sucks a sucks a. Won't watch it. Strip Law Season 1. Okay. Netflix set to unveil a new adult animated comedy this week, Strip Law, from creator of Star Trek Lower Decks and Paradise PD. Oh, so you know it's good. Comedy follows an uptight lawyer who teams up with a flashy Las Vegas musician to help bring some energy and theatricality to the city's dumbest legal cases. Okay. Overflowing with irreverent spirit. Series voice cast includes Adam Scott, Keith David, Janelle James, Stephen Root, and Amy Garcia, amongst others. I mean, it could be good, I guess. Indie Phantom. Neo-Noir. Shoresy, Season 5. So many shows I've never heard of. Hulu's best and most underrated series. Canadian comedy about a former hockey player living in Sudbury, Ontario. Isn't everything in Canada set and somehow revolve around hockey? Picks up back with its protagonist, played as always by creator Jared Kiso, as he tries to defend the high physicality, pro-hitting North American version of hockey against the increasing popular European style of the sport, which focuses on speed and finesse and how badly you can physically hurt your opponent. Okay. I guess. I notice Heated Rivalry's not on that list. None of those shows look great to me. Maybe the cartoon. I just like cartoons, but not super psyched about any of that stuff. Netflix already testing the Warner Brothers and DC content as WBD sale drama heats up. Okay. You got a lot of content, I'll give you that. James Gunn's DCU Batman now said to be years away if it happens. Good. You've got Robert Pattinson right there. Just pay him. I don't know why you wouldn't use Robert Pattinson. I think he's perfectly fine. Indie Phantom, watch something older on Tubi instead. Yes. Indie Phantom. James Gunn's Batman years away. LOL. Yeah, it should. Let Matt Reeves handle Batman. Just let him handle Batman. And then just, make it like Spider-Man in the MCU. You can use Batman once in a while, and you got to use Robert Pattinson. You got to just keep it consistent with whatever Matt Reeves is doing. Indie Phantom. Thanks, James. Let's set it for 2035. Yeah, he should just let Matt Reeves handle the Batman portion of the DCU. And then if Batman comes into James Gunn's Justice League or whatever, just don't F it up. Keep the character consistent. Don't goof it up. Oh, this was big. Mandy Pa Cadbanda plays Joan of Arc, reimagined for the 2020s. There's Joan of Arc, everybody. So yeah, this is stupid to race swap Joan of Arc, one of the most iconic historical figures with a very specific look. Stop doing this. Okay? Again, there are plenty of original stories to be told with black actors, and you can make up new stuff. You can always make up new stuff. But this is really getting pathetic. No one's gonna. Who's gonna watch this? I'll tell you exactly who will watch this. It'll be the woke people, the people who will specifically sit down to watch it just so they could get on the internet and go, "I watched the Black Joan of Arc and I thought it was great." I mean, it's just so stupid. It's so dumb. Stop doing it. Just cancel it right now. Stop embarrassing yourself and her. The Mandalorian Grogu fired back with a new trailer. Who cares? Is what I say. I don't care about Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't care about Star Wars anymore. You killed it. So, suck it, Disney. Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano fight announced for Netflix May 16th. I don't care. Sure. You guys want to come out of retirement, wail on each other? Well, at least you're two real women. I'll give you that. Let's see. Shia LaBeouf got arrested at Mardi Gras. Rambo 5 sex trafficking plot explained. Wow, that movie must have been great if you had to explain the plot to me. I didn't see it. I heard it was kind of watchable. All right, we already bashed Mark Ruffalo, so we'll skip that. Haunted Mansion now behind photorealistic scrim at Magic Kingdom. So another ride is closed at Disney until they can fix it, I guess. Disney Junior's Captain Do-Rag sparks online race debate over character design. JC, you hear what's going on in Mexico? I did. It's really, really bad. Now, here's what I got. I did the news blast a few hours ago, and I was reading about it. So, apparently, the Mexican government killed, possibly in attempting to capture, the head of one of the cartels. And now the members of that cartel are destroying Mexico. They are essentially blowing things up. They're hunting cops. They are there are cars burning in the street. The U.S. government have told Americans inside Mexico to hunker down. It's a mess. It's a mess. But let's get back to the real news about Captain Do-Rag. Captain Do-Rag is this weird character that appeared on Disney Junior, and they're saying it's racist because he has a do-rag on his head, I guess. It's not loading up for some reason. I don't know why. So, I've heard of a do-rag. You know, it's supposed to be like a bandana. You put the bandana on your head. This is a do-rag thing, right? Like that. So, he's just a superhero. It's a little kid show where he wears a do-rag and a mask, and he's Captain Do-Rag, and I don't know. So like a superhero. I don't see what's so offensive about it, but apparently people are bent out of shape about it. Popular Disney character warehouse store is shutting down. Don't care. But thanks for the update. Geeks and Gamers. Department of Justice launches antitrust probe in the Netflix bid for Warner Brothers acquisition. JEC, is Captain Do-Rag like Captain Underpants? I guess. underpants for your head? So, remember when Trump initially announced the bidding between Netflix and Warner Brothers, and the initial story came out that Trump was leaning towards Warner Brothers to be bought by Paramount Skydance, and implied that if Netflix bought them, they might face some FEC probes or whatever. Well, there you go, right? There you go, right there. They're jamming up Netflix, and Paramount's going to get the win, I think, eventually. Andor's showrunner links Disney-only hit Star Wars series to Trump and fascism because it's a day with a Y in it. So, moving on to Breitbart. Here's the Mexico stuff. Panic breaks out after gunfire near Guadalajara airport. Mexico confirms death of cartel boss El Mencho. See, he was such a mensch, they called him El Mencho. Ah, he's a good guy. Isn't he a cartel boss that murders people? Yeah, but hey, he drove me to the airport once. Wow. So yeah, they killed this cartel boss, and it's kind of weird. Isn't it weird though? Like they're killing everybody because their boss is dead. Wouldn't you think the guy who's now the boss would be like, "Oh, thanks." Mexico erupts in flames after the death of the largest terrorist cartel boss. America's told to shelter in place. U.S. Navy SEALs train Mexican military team who killed El Mencho. Neat. See, I thought we had our hand in this. So if we can't come to your country and blow up parts of it, we'll just help other people in your country do it. Mar-a-Lago intruder killed by Secret Service, ID'd, was armed with a shotgun and a fuel can. See if they have a picture. So, no, not really. Oh, well, this is the dude. But apparently there's another picture going around X. I don't know how real it is that he's supposedly trans. But this was apparently his plan. Indy Phantom, my cousin is a flight attendant and currently in that Mexico City. He has a condo there and lives most of the winter. He needs to get the hell out if he can. I would not want to live there. I mean, I hate snow, but I don't want to go to Mexico. Indy Phantom, I have no real desire to go to Mexico, but I do like watching Mexploitation Fix. The women are awesome and not ashamed to go fully naked. That's the way it should be. So this armed guy, he has a shotgun and a fuel can. I don't know what the plan was, but it's a terrible plan, right? Because let's say the plan was to go in and shoot everybody, light the place on fire, and walk out like it's a movie. The moment he walked in and he got confronted by anybody, and he obviously would have, because you'd have to be crazy to think you could breach the perimeter of the president's house without being confronted by a million dudes. The moment he got confronted, he would have had to drop the fuel can and put his other hand on the shotgun to fire it. Because you can't fire a shotgun one-handed. It'll go flying out of your hand. So the moment he drops the fuel can and starts reaching for the gun, kablamo, he's dead. So dumb. JC, like the one horrible movie from last year. You have to be more specific than like that one horrible movie. Jeffries, Trump admin is using taxpayer dollars to brutalize or kill Americans. Canada's Nathan McKinnon is a very sore loser after Olympic loss. I don't know anything about that. I don't follow the Olympics. Northeast. bracing for one blinding late winter blizzard, and it's here. And I'm being snowed upon as we speak. And I don't like it. Might have to get another drink. Indie Phantom. I'm going to check out American Sicario later. Oh, cool. Think he means Emilia Perez. JC. Emilia Perez. Yep. There you go. Khamenei activates wartime succession plans amid assassination fears. I hope we don't go to war with Iran. Denmark rejects Trump's offer to send great hospital ship to Greenland. Wonder why. New York high school teacher ousted after helping students launch Turning Point USA chapter. Yeah, see, teachers should not get involved in politics at all in schools. However, you can imagine in a New York school, there's all kinds of crazy political clubs that are left-leaning. This would have been the only right-leaning one, I assume. And then they immediately fired this teacher. That sounds unfair. But we'll see. Conan O'Brien breaks silence about the deaths of Rob Reiner and wife Michelle. This I want to check out. Saving this for the live stream. See what he says. Because he was there. He was at the party. He threw the party that they were at. Indie Phantom, you have to go to the pure Mexican stuff. Their flicks are pretty good. Perez wasn't even shot in Mexico. Oh, right. That was that trans thing. Conan O'Brien has broken his silence regarding the shocking fatal stabbings of filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle at the hands of their troubled son Nick. Trio had attended a party at O'Brien's hours before the dead bodies were found. Nick suffered from mental health, blah, blah, blah. He says, to have that experience of saying goodnight to somebody and having them leave and then find out the next day they're gone, I think I was in shock for quite a while afterwards, O'Brien told the New Yorker magazine this week. There's no other word for it. It's so awful. It's just so awful. And I think about how Rob felt about things that are happening in the country, how involved he was, how much he put himself out there. And to have that voice go quiet in an instant, still hard for me to comprehend. I don't really see what his politics has to do with things, but what happened at the party is what I want to know. He said something nice about Rob's talent. If you can make one great movie that's impressive, it's almost an impossible feat. To make two means you're really one of the greats. To make 7 in like 9-year, 10-year, 11-year period, it's insanity. With This Is Spinal Tap alone, if that had been the only thing he ever did, he influenced my generation enormously, blah, 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 blah. So, and he's hosting the Oscars. Indie Phantom, I love it. Troubled son, he's troubled, you know. Yeah, so no real information there. EU says U.S. must honor trade deal after Supreme Court tariff ruling. Yeah, good luck. Good luck getting Trump to listen to you, EU. Breitbart, Trump calls on Netflix to fire racist Susan Rice after her threat to businesses or pay the consequences. Oh, she made a threat. I don't know. Did she threaten certain businesses and with things based on race? Because that's discrimination. That is illegal. Indie Phantom, Rob's output since 1994 is so bad that now he has more bad flicks than good. Paramount celebrates as Warner Brothers takeover bid clears U.S. antitrust waiting period. So let me get this straight. Netflix is now being investigated by the DOJ about their bid, but Paramount, meanwhile, they've cleared. They've cleared and they're moving forward with their bid. It ain't over. It ain't over, Rock. Indie Phantom, who the heck is Susan Rice? So Susan Rice is kind of like a female Hillary Clinton. No, she was Obama's sort of advisor and attack dog. She's very authoritarian. Very authoritarian. I think she was our UN ambassador, I want to say, or something like that. But she is like, there are neocons and then there are neoliberals. She's a neoliberal, 100%, in my opinion. If she, God forbid, she ever became president, we'd be living under a very sad state of affairs. So she is a ruthless operator in Washington, D.C. So she's not good, in my opinion. Bill Maher, the left is very down on America, very down on the West. That's true. Where's the lie? Comedian Ben Bankus added more shows, gained fans after leftist mobs tried to cancel him over Renee Good jokes. No shock there. Indie Phantom, Grace Randolph just posted that Trump is getting involved in Warner Brothers deal. She is not a fan. Well, I think he's been involved since the beginning, quite frankly, because he made a statement about it right at the beginning. And then he backed off. And then he made it sound like he was all about the Netflix guys getting it, and that it was a good time to buy stock or something. And then nothing. So Indie Phantom, thanks for filling me in, Tony. I don't like her already. Yeah, she's kind of a bad egg, I would say. Trump hosts governors at White House for dinner. Stunning violin performance. Trump played the violin? No, it had to be somebody else playing it. He doesn't play the violin, does he? Be pretty amazing if he did. Oh, there we go. Yeah, kind of a hot chick playing a violin. That sounds like it's on brand for Trump. Mr. President, we have this violin player we think would be great for the governor's ball. I don't know. Well, just take a look at her picture. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get her in here. She's going to be in a low-cut dress, right? Well, I guess so. Well, make sure. Make sure that it's a go. Joe Rogan called Zoran Mamdani budget proposal. He's an effing psychopath. $0 for illegal immigrants. Is he saying there should be $0 or that Zoran's not putting any money towards illegal immigrants? The amount for migrants is crazy. There should be $0 for illegal immigrants. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's sending a bunch of money. I assume he's spending way too much money on illegal immigrants. Zoran Mamdani. I assume the plan is to drive everybody out of the city with taxes and then just replace them with illegal immigrants. Robert De Niro spews conspiracies about Trump not leaving office. It's up to us to get rid of him. That sounds mildly ominous from Robert De Niro, doesn't it? But he's in his 80s. Who cares? James Cameron fears Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers will lead to the death of cinema in a letter to Senator Mike Lee. James Cameron really kind of, I don't know. On the one hand, he's moving to New Zealand to avoid America, but on the other hand, he's okay with America falling apart as long as he can live in New Zealand. But on the other hand, oh no, we can't have the death of cinema. Let me write to my senator. I'm not going to write to him about, well, the death of America and everything coming to pieces, but, oh, about cinema? Yeah, no, I'll write him a letter. I'll get right on it. Don't you live in New Zealand? Yeah, that's because America's falling apart. But I can't let cinema fall apart. That's where I get my money. Oh, my God. Indie Phantom. Aren't elections normally where you get rid of politicians? I always thought that. Steven Spielberg fleeing California ahead of proposed wealth tax. I mean, it's smart, but he looks like a big hypocrite. Wasn't he one of the guys that donated like $1 million to keep Gavin Newsom in as governor? Wasn't he one of the guys who stopped the recall? I'm almost sure he was. You retard. Now you got to leave the state. Oh no, we can't let Gavin Newsom be recalled. Oh no. Oh, he's just passing a billionaire's tax. Oh, I'm out of here. God, how can you be so dumb? Indie Phantom, Cameron killed cinema with Avatar. It's in fire and ashes. Ba-dum-bum. Fire and arse. Yeah, I don't know. I will give it to Cameron. He knows how to make a movie, but Indie Phantom, Spielberg is a clown. Yeah. Yeah, all these guys, I think, at the end of the day, they just care about their money. That's why you have so many celebrities. They don't need the money, but they must still want it. They must still be like, 20 million. Well, I can't turn that down. I got to put that in the giant pile I have in my house. It's like, why couldn't you just stop, Harrison Ford? Why couldn't you just say, nah, I'm too old. I'm not doing these movies anymore. I retire. It's like, Jack Nicholson's the only one that kind of retired just in time, right? He was just starting to lose it a little bit, and he retired. He just showed up for like the 50th anniversary of SNL, where he almost kind of blew it, and they had him say something, and he almost couldn't say it, but at least he got out before anything super embarrassing happened, and he still kind of had some of his marvels, so he has had time to have fun. Harrison Ford could have got out like 10 years ago with all his friggin' money and still been, he's still like walking around. Like, wouldn't you just spend the last 10 years of your life, I don't know, vacationing? Or is his life so awesome, like vacation, there's not even like a thing like a vacation, right? I mean, wouldn't you just spend Harrison Ford's in that show Shrinking. Like, as a TV show. He's got to do a lot more work for that. I mean, not like physical work, but, there's like a bunch of episodes as opposed to a 90-minute movie. I just don't get these guys. I really don't. Matthew McConaughey predicts AI actors will soon compete for Oscars. I just get older and the AI actors stay the same. Ha! Indie Phantom, come on, Tony. Harrison Ford had to return to dance on Indy's grave once more. You think he really hates his own characters at this point? Maybe he does. Maybe he thought he'd be a serious actor who would, do Shakespeare in a park or something, and he feels like he's a clown. I just find that hard to believe. Even his second tier career when he was doing like Witness and playing the president on the plane, and what else? A couple other movies like that. I mean, that was a good tier for him. Then he did Hollywood Homicide, and I just like, what? Netflix publishes Eric Dane's last words to daughters before death. You are my everything. Well, why do you get what? You published? What do you mean publish? Did you post it? Doesn't make any sense. Indie Phantom. His send-off to Han Solo was just as bad, I'm sure. Let's go to the New York Post. Here's more on the chaos of the cartel. Popular Mexican resort town under siege after cartel leader killed as U.S. urges tourists to shelter in place. Should probably get them the hell out of there. But maybe you're hoping things are going to calm down. I don't know. I say send a boat. All these resorts are on the coast, right? You're not going to go all the way to a resort unless there's a beach. Send the boats. Send the Navy. Oh, wait. They're all in Iran about to blow up that place. Love-struck suspected Moscow mole in New York City tells FBI agent, "Catch me, baby," only to land behind bars. Ooh. Oh, here's the guy. Tourette's activist shouts N-word during BAFTA's telecast while Black Star's present. Ha! Indie Phantom. Witness is so good. Now that's a great screenplay, Tony. I took a workshop from Sid Field in 1990, and that was the film he used as a model for us on the weekend. Yeah, it is good. I love that film. Indie Phantom. That town is gay dominant, and I'm not kidding. New York City? No. Shocking. Here's the shotgun wielder. More on the Olympics. This dude got his teeth knocked out and then went back in and scored the winning goal to beat the Canadians. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I can play hockey. Indie Phantom. No, the Mexican town. Oh. New York City braces for up to 28 inches. Oh, God. We might get up to 2 feet, but I think we're going to get about a foot. But it's going to be wet, and it's going to be tough to dig out. We already have about, I'm going to say about 3 or 4 inches on the ground now. And just snowing and snowing and snowing now. Mom of 3 who vanished 24 years ago found alive and living new life. Wow. Oh, this was funny. So this dude is an influencer. He's look maxing. It's a new stupid term. So this dude here. So his online name is androgenic. So somebody pulls off his hat, revealing that he's bald. Indie Phantom. I was rooting for Team USA just because the wokies on Facebook were so irritating. Though if Crosby had been in the game, I'd have gone to my homies. I have no idea because I don't follow sports, but what I do know is there's 2 Canadian influencers, and they announced right before the game, please, America, don't take away our gold medal. Hockey is all we have. And they also post in the comments, the first thing in the comments that gets posted will do it if the U.S. beats Canada, right? Which was a good bet because the Canadians have beat us like for, I don't know, what, like 4 decades in hockey. So the first thing somebody posted was, become a U.S. citizen, join the Marines for a 20-year stint. And so then after the U.S. won, all the comments underneath it was, thank you for your service. Because they expect them to come here and become a Marine for 20 years. All right, so this is the guy. He gets revealed as a fraud. Yeah. Somebody takes his hat, and apparently there's a wig. Oh, yeah, see? That's wrong. I feel kind of bad for the guy. Tucker Carlson forced to backtrack on claim Israeli president visited Epstein's pedo island. Wow. Tucker Carlson actually apologized for saying one of the crazy things he said? ESPN uses photo of wrong player in segment about tribute to Rondell Moore after his self-deletion. Whoopsie. That's no bueno. Waiting game. DNA in Nancy Guthrie case could take a year to analyze, sheriff says, after using private lab instead of FBI. If this guy doesn't get investigated and fired, I'm going to be shocked. Something's gone terribly wrong at the sheriff's department, I think, if that's true. You're telling me it's going to take a year? It never takes a year to analyze DNA. It might take a couple of months. A year? In a high-profile case like this? What are you, out of your mind? There's no way. There's no way this is going to happen. This guy is toast. Indie Phantom, LOL. Furia's serial child, horrible person, freed from prison early. Monster parents fear most. Indie Phantom, it could take a year to find Guthrie, LOL. This poor woman. She's probably not with us anymore, unfortunately, but Jesus. Trump to honor Lake and Riley and other angel families ahead of State of the Union. Inside the rotting skeleton of Epstein's Lolita Express that still holds dark clues about the perv's abuses. I don't know, man. Telling me the plane's just sitting there? I'm pretty sure the FBI would have gone over it. Indie Phantom, Coach. Ma'am Danny announces full classic snow day for New York City students after remote learning backlash. I guess he said that for the snow, the kids were going to transition to remote learning, and everybody made such a fuss, he decided to, like, okay, we'll just close down the schools. Because wouldn't the teachers have to, like, come in for that? I guess they could stay at home, too, because they probably stayed home during COVID, right? You could just do it all online. I don't see any problem with doing that online, other than people hate it. I mean, for 2 days, probably be fine. But this guy is a retard. I mean, let's be honest. He is mayor of retards. Woman reveals revolting way she cleans underwear while traveling. I don't want to know. That sounds... I'm already grossed out. Head smashing. Dems erupt after ICE agent uses handcuffs man head as battering ram against a brick wall. I don't know if they did that to him. It looks like he tried to pull away. I don't think they did that to him in this. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to hurt himself. It does not look like they did that on purpose. Let's see. Wiz Khalifa punches son Sebastian in stomach 13 times during shocking birthday tradition. Well, that's... I mean, as long as he knows what he's doing and doesn't really hurt him. Maybe those guys are in the martial arts. That's something martial artists do. That looks AI. It could be. I don't think it is, but I do think it looks like he pulled away from them. Fiery rhetoric. LA mayor epically trolled during top ride through LA. Yeah, there's some guy following the parade route and just, telling her to resign, that she's not going to be reelected. She's a Marxist, hardcore. I don't know how she got elected, except California voters are idiots, I guess. Let's see. Gunman accused of killing Caltech genius was only just released from jail by soft on crime California law. No surprise there. It's a shame. Turning heads. Sofia Vergara rocks plunging red dress in Miami as $1,000 steak dinner turns into family fiesta. She looks good still. She rocks a bikini. She looks good. Oh, this is so gross. Ex-President Andrew's daughter torn between loyalty and legacy after his arrest. I mean, what do you do in that situation? I have no idea. Scott Bessent demurs on plans to refund Trump's IEEPA tariffs as admin rolls out Plan B. Indie Phantom, I've got to see that troll video. Every time she speaks publicly, she's getting shouted down. It's pretty funny, but it kind of goes on a long time, or otherwise I'd play it. He just follows the car and he's just yelling at her. Dad begs for funding as 5-year-old son battles extremely rare genetic disorder. Oh, that's a shame. Indie Phantom, I would like to date Sophia, Tony. I think you're going to need a lot of money for her. She does not look like she'd be a cheap date. I mean, $1,000 steak dinner? I think that's just the beginning. 2,000-year-old workshop near Jerusalem, a pilgrimage path found after looter's arrest. Okay. Workshop dates back to the Second Temple period, the era in which Jesus lived and preached in Jerusalem. Ooh, neat. Marilyn Monroe's California dollhouse hits the market for $3.3 million. It's a nice place. Jennifer Lopez celebrates twins' 18th birthday with sweet tribute. They don't look like twins. I guess they're not identical. Here's more on the BAFTA awards. See, these weren't even in the pictures. See, I should have went to New York Post. So there's Kate Hudson. There's Kirsten Dunst. So these look nice. Lily Allen. I've heard of her. Indie Phantom. Yeah, maybe she won't go Dutch. I'm pretty sure she won't go Dutch. I'm pretty sure if you don't have a private jet, you don't stand a chance with her. There's Maggie Gyllenhaal again. Man, it looks even worse in this picture. Whew. She looks bad. She looks like 70. Rose Byrne. Looks good in that. Indie Phantom. LOL. Apparently Corey Feldman butchered the song Jesse's Girl somewhere. That should be funny. Oof. I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy. Who's this? Odessa Azion. I'm not sure what kind of outfit that is. Something from the not too distant future. This is Fatima Farine. I don't know who these are. And Riz Ahmad. Felicity Jones. I think I know her. Minnie Driver. Looks fine. Don't know that dude. Don't know him. Oh, Laura Hamer. That's a nice outfit. She looks good. Indie Phantom. Maggie never looked good. Rose Byrne does go. So is this chick. Laura Hamer. Never heard of her. Whew. She's very toned. Don't know that dude. This is Gwendolyn Christie. She might be good looking. Man, that's a terrible outfit, though. That makes her look enormous. You might ask yourself, why a pirate shirt? I don't know that dude. This is Catriona Bayful. She's kind of cute. Don't know him. That's Wumi Musaku. Apparently showed up in her jammies. What the heck's that? Peter Stellan Skarsgård and Megan Everett Skarsgård. She looks okay, I guess. Igna, I don't know her. Id's daughter Lilias. Man, she's got a name like an elf. Here is Gillian Dempsey, Patrick Dempsey, and Tallulah Phi Dempsey. Well, his wife's very cute, and his daughter's very cute as well. I assume that's his daughter. Nomi Rapace. Oh, that reminds me. There's a new movie coming out called Over Your Dead Body. It's actually a remake of a movie Nomi Rapace was in called The Trip, which I highly recommend. It's very funny. So I don't know if they're going to screw up the remake or not, but she does some good movies. This is Lisa Marshall and Mark Strong. Oh, Mark Strong, sure. Ryan Coogler, and I assume that's his wife. That's Chloe Zhao in a different dress. She looks okay. Terry Gilliam apparently was sleeping on a park bench nearby and thought he'd walk over. What the hell is he wearing? I mean, I dress better than that, and look at me. What the hell, man? Are you trying to be the next Doctor Who? What the hell are you wearing, Terry? Don't know that dude. Here is Nia DaCosta. She looks alright in that. Kind of a pantsuit deal. Joe Wright, don't know him. Indie Phantom. I watched the movie Straight to Hell from 1987. It's the director of Repo Man. Sexy ass Jennifer Balgobin does a sexy, sudsy motorcycle wash that beats the scene in Cool Hand Luke for me. Chloe Zhao is surprisingly doable. Yeah, she's not bad. Doug Lyman, and I think that's it. Okay. All right. Can I not get back? There we go. I think that was it. Yeah. I think we're just about done. What else do I got? I think that's it. I think that's it. And Entertainment Weekly. Maybe I could find something to talk about over here. More on the BAFTA. Everything's BAFTA tonight. Let's try movies. BAFTA. Mark Ruffalo. William Shatner accidentally alienated Spencer Tracy while trying to praise him. He never spoke to me again. That's sorry. That's terrible. Wonder what happened. The 23 best Amazon original movies streaming on Prime. All right, we could look at that. See if Entertainment Weekly has a better list. Number 1, Air. Oh, this is about a shoe. This is about the making of Air Jordan. Sure, I guess. Michael Jordan's not in it. But, you know, they talk about him a lot. The Big Sick. Anything with Kumail Nanjiani, I question. Borat, subsequent movie film. I liked the first Borat a lot. It was so funny. Did I see the second one? I don't know if I saw it. But I wouldn't be opposed to watching it, I guess. Brittany runs a marathon. Jillian Bell is Brittany Folger. I like Jillian Bell. She was very funny on Workaholics, so I would give it a chance. Indie Phantom. Heard Air is actually good. Ever see a movie about a shoe? I don't know, man. I don't know if I could sit through a whole movie about a shoe, but maybe. The Burial. Jamie Foxx. It's like a legal drama. Hedda. Plays Hedda Gabler. I don't know who that is. So. Indie Phantom. Second Borat is kind of painful now during COVID. Oh. The idea of you, Anne Hathaway. Sounds like a romance. Pass. Late Night. Mindy Kaling. No. Plays a young writer who joins the ranks of legendary late night host Catherine Newberry. Emmett Thompson. Yeah, no, that sounds like the least funny pitch I've ever heard. Mindy Kaling was really good on The Office. She wasn't bad when she did a guest spot on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But, man. And she's very ambitious. She's got a lot of producer credits. I mean, good for her, but some about her is not funny anymore. Maybe because she destroyed Velma and Scooby-Doo. Indie Phantom. Hedda is Nia DaCosta again. Yeah. Lucy and Desi. Amy Poehler's documentary. Oh, maybe. I kind of like Amy Poehler and Lucille Ball. Manchester by the Sea. Looks boring. Looks like a drama. Master. Maramina Diallo's Master sets the scene at an elitist Ancaster college where Jasmine navigates life as a young black student. All right. In a prominently white environment. All right, I'm out. Indie Phantom. Mindy is super woke. She is cut, though, but annoying now. Cute, I mean. Kind of cut. She lost a bunch of weight. My Old Ass. When I heard Aubrey Plaza was in a movie, I'm like, ooh. And then it was this one. So, and then I was like, I still have to see Megalopolis. It's still not playing anywhere. I'm waiting for it to show up on Tubi or something. One Night in Miami. Never heard of this. An Oscar-nominated drama directed by Regina King recreates a motel room meeting that took place on Miami, February 25th, 1964, between the four most powerful, influential black public figures. Oh, this was Malcolm X, Cassius Clay, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke. Oh, no, maybe this isn't the one I thought. Okay, I don't know. Also sounds boring. Indie Phantom. Dude won Best Actor for Manchester by the Sea. Casey Affleck never bothered with it. Huh. Patterson. Adam Driver. Slice of life film follows a week of life in Patterson, a bus driver who happens to work in New Jersey City of the same name. After hearing the buzz of passengers and their daily observations, Patterson writes poems in a notebook, which his wife, Laura, wants him to share with the world. Okay. Saltburn. Oh, this is that Barry Keoghan flick where he plays like a poor dude hanging out with rich dudes and then it all goes to hell. Yeah, that looks terrible. Indie Phantom. I watched Honey Don't, so you don't have to, Tony. Yeah, Megalopolis is worth seeing because it's so nuts. I still need to hear Coppola commentary. Yeah, I wonder what that's going to be like. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I stole that bit from The Simpsons. That's the commentary on The Simpsons for The Postman. Kevin Costner doing the commentary. It's just him apologizing for the entire run of the movie. Small Axe. Steve McQueen's remarkable Small Axe isn't just one film, it's 5. Anthology series looks at the history of life in Britain for black and West Indian communities. What is this, the most woke list of movies, entertainment? Rename yourself Woke Entertainment. Sound of Metal. Heart-wrenching story of Ruben, a drummer who suddenly loses his hearing. Okay, I guess. Suspiria, that's a remake of a classic horror movie. Indie Phantom, no, Coppola is super defensive about the flick. 13 Lives. Ron Howard's dramatization of the headline-making 2018 Thailand cave rescue. Yeah, I don't want to see that. Indie Phantom, Small Axe isn't just a woke film, it's 5. Uncle Frank. Okay. Award winner writer Alan Ball, American Beauty, 6 Feet Under. Okay. Helmed this character-driven road trip period piece about a gay man coming to terms with a bigoted father's death. Set in the 70s, the film follows Frank Bedsoe, Paul Bethany, as he drives back to his hometown for the funeral of his beloved niece. Meanwhile, his secret boyfriend wants to tag along too, despite Frank's reservations. I don't know. Don't want to see a thing that's got more gay stuff in it. Can't you do anything that's not gay, Hollywood? Val. So this is about Val Kilmer? Intimate documentary. It's a shame he died. The Vast of Night. Underrated lo-fi mystery film transports us to 1950 New Mexico. In a sleepy town, a switchboard operator and radio DJ investigate a strange audio signal that intercepts the latter's broadcast. Their findings lead them to uncover a conspiracy, and most intriguingly, reports of an unidentified flying object. Okay, that sounds cool. Indie Phantom, yeah, that doesn't sound like the wokest road movie ever. Yeah, maybe I would watch The Vast of the Night. That doesn't sound bad. You Were Never Really Here. Joaquin Phoenix. Dark hair-raising You Were Never Really Here is an art house hitman thriller. That hits home. Directed by Lynn Ramsey, the movie follows Joe, an introverted loner who rescues women who find themselves in a precarious positions. It's grisly, edge-of-your-seat film that is pulse-quickening, strangely quiet, and understated. Excuse me. Indie Phantom. Val actually supposed to be amazing. He has videos of behind the scenes from every movie he ever made. He was a self-documentary. Oh, maybe the Val thing would be cool to see that. All right, and that's it. So a couple in that mix. Let's see. Former CEO Michael Eisner reveals why he won't step foot in the Disney headquarters since leaving. Indie Phantom, You Were Never Really Here is supposed to be pretty gritty and good. 15 best horror movies on Hulu right now. All right, I'm going to look at this one because I like horror movies. I don't like Hulu, though, anymore. The Babadook, that's good. I like that one. Barbarian, I can't recommend that. Nah. Has a couple good scenes in it, but it's very weird. Black Swan, nah, I can't recommend that. It's not really a horror movie. The First Omen, 2024, nah. Indie Phantom, it's amazing that I've seen nothing from their list. Fresh, a nuanced examination of modern dating. First-time feature-length director Mimi Caves Fresh follows the meet-cute turn meet-cute between budding lovers Noah and Steve Sebastian Stan. When Steve turns out to be more Hannibal Lecter than Prince Charming, their relationship takes an unappetizing turn. Okay. Hellraiser 2022, no way. Late Night with the Devil, seen it. It's interesting. Indie Phantom, Black Swan, good lesbian kiss, I guess. Yeah, that's about all I could say about it, too. Late Night with the Devil's kind of good. Fresh isn't that good. I kind of like Late Night with the Devil, I guess. I mean, it's interesting. The ending's crazy. Little Monsters. Josh Gad as Teddy McGiggle and Lupita Nyong as Miss Audrey. Little Monsters. I think this is the kid zombie movie. So I'm always up for a zombie movie, even if Josh Gad is in it. Indie Phantom, OMG, Hellraiser remake is bad. Yeah, I imagine. Oh, speaking of bad, Long Legs. I hated Long Legs. Boring movie. Good opening, but not good. No One Will Save You. What if you can only rely on yourself to defend against an alien invasion? Well, that sounds cool. I think I saw the teaser to this. I would see that. Presence. Steven Soderbergh's chilling horror drama. The unwelcome presence haunting a house in the suburbs. Told entirely from the perspective of a ghost, the film centers on a married couple and their kids who move into the house where an invisible presence lurks. Okay. Maybe? Indie Phantom, Late Night was fine. Yeah. Run. Follows doting mother Diane Sherman, who has maintained meticulous control over the life of her daughter Chloe for 17 years, Once the time comes for Chloe, a wheelchair user with multiple ailments, to leave for college, she soon becomes a prisoner in her own home as dark secrets are uncovered. Okay, weird. Together, I can't watch this movie. It's this weird movie where Dave Franco and Allison Brie, who are married in real life, move into this house, and they're slowly being fused together because of something that's nearby on their property. It's kind of messed up. I don't know how it's a movie though. Indie Phantom: Presence is one of Soderbergh's iPhone experiments. The Ugly Stepsister. Not interested in that. Indie Phantom. No thanks on Rung. If you were to combine the classic tale of Cinderella with the satirical body horror of The Substance, it might look a little something like The Ugly Stepsister. Norwegian grotesquerie centers on Elvira, a young woman perceived unattractiveness as a thorn in her vain mother's side. To improve their fortunes, the mother forces Elvira to undergo a series of brutal cosmetic surgeries with the goal of wooing a wealthy prince. Ugh. I don't like the sound of that. Indie Phantom. It's just the trailer drawn out. The Wailing. A mysterious stranger comes to a small South Korean village, bringing him a curse. In this effectively sinister horror thriller, the curse causes the affected villagers to become violently murderous. Police officer Jong-gu tries to get to the bottom of it, personally motivated by his daughter's own transformation. The Wailing is one of the best Korean horror films of all time. Maybe. Koreans do make good movies. Do. And what else? Halle Berry gets in a bikini again. Could end on that, maybe. That's from the movie. That's from recently. And there's no real picture. Thanks for that. Okay, we can't end on that. What else you got? Damn. Thought we could end on a bikini shot of somebody here. No bikini. Thanks a lot, Halle Berry. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it's nothing really here. All right. Well, what have we learned today? We learned that critics list a lot of movies. Indie Phantom. Halle's topless scene in Swordfish was kind of disappointing. I think she's more naked in that Billy Bob Thornton movie, isn't she? We've learned the box office is cuckoo bananas. I mean, it's cuckoo bananas over here. Not a good weekend. Not a good weekend. Elvis is in the top 10 movies. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Indie Phantom. We learned that Variety, etc. makes horrible woke movie list. Yes. Yes, we did. Yeah. And Mexico's going to hell. You should never go to Mexico until they fix it. I don't know when that's going to happen. Like, I do remember a time when Mexico, it was very corrupt, but it was safe enough. Like, if you got shook down, they would just shake you down for a couple of bucks and you'd be on your way. Now it's like completely murderous, it feels like, down there. So I wouldn't go. You know, feels like you're taking your life into your own hands now. But back in the day, like, you know, the idea was you could go to San Diego, take the trolley over into Tijuana, make a day of it. You'd probably be fine 90% of the time, unless you stayed too late and got drunk. I had a friend who, in college, he went to Mexico over spring break. Like, he was rich. His father invented Applebee's, we used to say. And we would come back from break, me and my friends, and be like, "Oh, what'd you do?" "Oh, I worked." "Well, I just stayed home." He'd be like, "Oh, well, I went to Tijuana," and we'd be like, "What?" So he goes to Tijuana with his friend, and there was a bar where you could pay this guy. He worked at the bar. You could pay him, and he would basically force feed whoever you pointed to a shot of tequila. And his friend kept paying him for shots, and just got him absolutely hammered. Indie Phantom, Mexican senoritas are still fine, though. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We're liking the senoritas here on the channel. Yeah, so that's it from me. Tony D and Little Joan somewhere in the background. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going to be on the American Werewolf podcast again on Wednesday. We'll be talking about Dr. Strangelove, or How I Stopped Loving the Bomb. So that's going to be fun. And then this weekend coming up, assuming the snow melts, which it's supposed to, I'll be at Di Matteo Winery in Hamilton, New Jersey on Saturday from 2 p.m. on. And then on Sunday, I'll be at the AC Punk Show. I'm looking forward to that. That's from noon to 6. So that's at a club in Atlantic City. So hopefully we'll be okay. Jennifer Balgobin. Google her, okay? We'll Google her right now. Jennifer, where is it? Jennifer Balgobin. All right. Oh, I remember her. Sure. Is this her? With the mohawk? From Repo Man? I remember her. Come on, let's do crimes. I love Repo Man. That's one of my favorite movies. Not a lot of pictures of her, though. Yeah, she was Debbie. Let's check her out on the IMDb. Oh. No picture. Wow. She's not in a lot of stuff, I guess. Indie Phantom. She's hotter and straight to hell. Bike wash. Oh. She was in stuff. She was in Babylon 5. No idea. She's in something. There was something called Repo Chick. I guess they were capitalizing on her Repo Man fame to put her in that. Yeah, here she is, Straight to Hell. Fabian. Oh, I remember Straight to Hell. I remember the movie. I don't think I saw it. Yeah, wasn't that... yeah, Alex Cox directed it, and there was a bunch of rock and rollers in it. Yeah, it was very punk. Very punk. I have to check that out. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. I got to take a break and get a drink because it's so friggin' dry. I'll be back next week. Probably a little late with the live stream because the punk show goes to 6 and might take me a while to get home. Other than that, I hope you all have a good week. I hope if you're in South Jersey or in the Northeast, you're stocked up because you're going to be in for a few days. Indie Phantom, yeah, it's actually the same director. Official sequel to Repo Man. Oh, wow. I'll have to see that. Or maybe I'll be disappointed. Repo Check. Well, as a repo check, wealthy bad girl Pixie and her entourage get mixed up in a devious kidnapping plot that threatens to wipe out the city of Los Angeles. Oh, yeah, it is. Alex Cox, and he wrote and directed it. I might have to see this. Huh. There she is, Jennifer Balgobin. Good for her, still working. Clint Miller, I just stepped outside. Still less than an inch of snow in my part of Maryland. Well, God bless you, because we're going to get hammered. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D. I'm going to go. We'll see you in the next one.